Hi guys, so I think it's Monday the 9th, if I'm correct. And I promised another video. I haven't done a huge amount on Jag. Anyone who doesn't watch this before the first half, it's X350 2.7 diesel Sovereign model. Yeah, so I'm going to fire her up and then show you what's what with it, and a bit more info on what I paid for it and whatnot, and what I think's got to be done. So yeah, here we go. Okay, so let's fire her up. So as you can see, let's go in there. Yeah, light switch is off, thank you. Vehicle too low. So ultimately, well, there's a suspension fault, vehicle too low. Now, once it warms up, and I give it a little tickle, the height will raise, but it doesn't raise properly on the front. So, I mean, I can actually hear it in the background now. I can hear it going up. I can, if I look at the, look out, I can see the height. I can see it going up. But the back goes up fine. The front doesn't completely go up, which is sort of a bit odd in itself. But I don't think there's any air leaks. I'm pretty sure it's the, or on the system, should I say, it's the, there's a common thing is that the seal in the air compressor, which is hidden down under the sort of the front wing / bumper. So that's straightforward enough to do. I'm confident as enough as I can be that that's what needs doing. It's just that. But what I have just done is serviced it, because I want to put it in for the MOT, because the MOT has run out. Actually has run out like a day ago. So I'm going to put it in for the MOT, and I serviced it to make sure that, you know, if they're revving out for the emissions and whatnot, I don't want any damage, because the oil in there wasn't great. Although the engine sounds sweet, it's absolutely fine. Have a look now, and you can see it's actually, probably because I've been starting up more regularly, light's gone out the level. So if I put, the point is, you see, if I put down for the MOT now, that'll be fine, even if it's sitting a bit low. I mean, there might be some other issues that it's going to fail on. Last year there was a couple of minor like little bushes, a suspension bush and another little bush which was an advisory, but other than that it's got pretty good MOT history. So the mileage, as you can see, 163,000. The big question, what did I pay for it? So it wasn't like a mega bargain, so depending on what you think is cheap, well, it may vary greatly on opinion, where in the country you are maybe. I actually bought this. Don't tell me off, okay? Now, I'm not being prejudiced, don't get me wrong. There's a few places you shouldn't really buy a car from, or a cheap car, should we say. Birmingham, Slough's definitely another one, and Christ, I can't remember. Okay, so I remember Bradford, obviously. So yeah, not being prejudiced at all. It's getting a bit dark now. I'll put some light on. There we go. Yeah, 3 places you should probably not buy a cheap car from: Slough, Birmingham and Bradford. I bought this from Birmingham. I bought it about probably 2 or 3 months ago now. I've been a bit busy and haven't really had time to do much with it. I just run it up now and again, put a nice new Yuasa battery in it, because that was a bit iffy, the battery. But yeah, basically the guy was he was nice enough. He seemed decent enough. He's quite clearly been trading cars off his driveway for like 20 years or something like that. Found it on eBay. I was looking at the time for just a comfy saloon. I got another car. again, that I bought cheap, which is a CLK on an 02. Not keeping that, that's got to be sold. But I was looking for a nice comfy saloon, maybe like a, well, I was actually looking for an E-Class, to be honest with you, because I've got a CLK with a 3.2 V6 engine in it, and it's beautiful smooth engine. I was thinking I would really like this engine in an E-Class, and there was some out there, but they were just, I wasn't going to pay what they were asking. I was after something cheap that I could fill about with. This come up, and again, I'll just show you. I know I showed you in the first video, but just go over it. So yeah, the reason I went for this, because there were other Jags available, but this was the cheapest at the time, I think. I mean, I think there was a real dog available for, I think it was 700 quid, but I wouldn't have touched that. So this has got like the black on the top and the black on the top of the doors, and then black carpets, and then obviously the cream. And this wood is, I don't like light wood generally speaking, but on this X350 I think it works quite well, so it gives a nice modern fresh feel about it. So it was that and the colour combination with the exterior, the reason I went for it. If it had like that sort of browny beigey top here and a beige steering wheel, then I wouldn't have gone for it. It was the interior sort of, you know, which is where you spend your time, that I really liked basically. And it's clean. It's really nice and clean inside. There's a few little wear marks, but as you can see, if I move these CDs out of the way, and look at that driver's seat, and look in the back. It's got heated seats in the back, being a Sovereign. The big question is, what did I pay for it? Well, like I say, it wasn't really cheap, but it was cheap. I paid £1 grand for it, which I don't think that's a bad price. It's not like mega cheap. Is it cheap? I don't know. You let me let me know. Do you think that's cheap? Do you think £1 grand's cheap? I mean, it's perfectly reasonable, put it that way. I mean, if it turned out that the airbags need doing and whatnot, it's not going to end up being cheap. But I'm pretty confident it's just the compressor, which is a common issue. I work in motor trade. I have a car mechanic business. I don't get my hands that dirty myself. I deal with the basics, but I can if I have to. If not, I have cheap labour and cheap parts. So I wouldn't have taken on this car if I wasn't in the motor trade, because it could end up spiraling out of control. I know it's £1 grand, but honestly, the price of the suspension bags, if they need doing, then there's no point in getting a cheap one ultimately. Having said that, I got it really because I like the colour combination, and there wasn't any others around in that colour combination at the time. Bit of wonky. I quite like this this centre unit actually. There's a little bit. Does anybody like Howard Jones? What is love? But under the steering wheel here, there's these two buttons. Not like here on the front, like a lot of steering wheel. It's at the side here, tucked under, is the volume controls, which is really quite nice. Anyway, I see what I'm going to do now, because I've been quite busy today and it's getting dark. The light is from the interior light in the car. I can't really go around the car. I was going to show you what I've done under the bonnet, go around the car and have a look at what needs doing. But I think just go over some of the knick-knacks inside briefly, just to finish this off, and then I'll have a look at the outside another time. Now what there is, I'll switch that radio off. If you listen, can you hear a little vibrating in the background? Probably can't hear it that much. There's a little bit of loose plastic trim underneath somewhere or something. I'm not sure what it is. It's a tiny bit vibrating, and you rev it up and it goes. But you can probably hear the engine as well if I do this. You can hear it sounds pretty sweet. It's just, I've just done the oil, so it sounds better than what it did. But getting back to the inside, so yeah, obviously you've got this this standard unit here, which is all the usual things. Obviously, climate control, switch Howard Jones back on. This is quite a nice display. But once you're up and running your plane, you shouldn't really need to use it. You shouldn't need to look across and touch this because you've got this very nice control under there. But yeah, so this sports gator, and obviously the old electronic handbrake there. This is nice. Makes it feel modern, this black dashboard. I'm not a great lover of these instrument panels. I used to have an X308 and I much prefer the instrument panels on that, but this is quite nice. It's not really, you know, there's not that many bells and whistles on it. Obviously you've got this lovely cream leather with the piping, and this bit here, which my friend says looks like an elephant's, should we say, anus hole. You either like that or you don't. So yeah, there's nothing really to shout about. Obviously in the back it's lovely, and you've got heated seats in the back. Heated seats in the front. What's in here? Touch-up paint that the guy gave me. Yeah, it is what it is, really. Anyway, it's a bit more Howard Jones, and I'll come back tomorrow and carry on because it's getting dark now, so I can't really do anything more today.